Yo, what's going on everyone? SpaceKong here. So, it's 100% confirmed. The Warden Class is going to be released on the 6th of June 2017 with the Morrowind DLC. Well, I'll say DLC, but it's more like an expansion. Even though they don't like to call it expansion, but they said, well, basically ZeniMax said they don't like the word expansion. It's a dirty word, but it's basically the closest thing that their DLC expansion thing could be called. So let's call it that for now. But the sad thing is that the Warden class is buy to play, which really sucks, because if it's going to be an overpowered class, then it's basically going to be buy to win. And if they underpower it, then it's just going to suck and no one's going to use it. I mean, like the first few weeks, everyone's going to be using it. I mean, like about 90% of the people are going to be using it. Like, you remember the event when we had the Hollow Jack? I think it was a Hollow Jack, where basically everyone was a skeleton. Like, everyone. Oh yeah, it was the Witch's Brew Festival. That's it. But yeah, everyone was a skeleton. And it's basically going to be exactly the same, but with Wardens now. Everyone's just going to ditch all the other classes, essentially. So, a little backstory about the Warden. Basically, it was in the alpha testing of the Elder Scrolls Online, but it was unbalanced and it wasn't a great build, it wasn't complete. So they scrapped it and just stayed with the original classes. So, but now they've had loads and loads of time to tweak it and get it perfect, so let's hope it's balanced. You know, ZeniMax are known to, set the balance off, especially in PvP. We had a hint towards the Warden build when ZeniMax changed the Ice Staff. It's in the player test server currently, but basically they've changed it into a sort of... It's more of a tanky weapon now, so you can make yourself an ice tank. And then, yeah, that was the first hint, and then obviously now they've released the trailer for it, and they've told us a little bit about the build itself. Did I say build? I meant class. They're going to tell us a little bit about the class. Oh, and before I get into that, I apologise for the dungeon video in the background. My controller, yeah, I play a controller on PC, don't shoot me. It basically just kept cutting out, like in the middle of battles it would just stop working, so I'll just stand there and get battered. But anyway, back onto the Warden. So, like every class, it has 3 different skill lines. It has Nature, which is going to be a healing based skill line. They haven't told us anything about the skills that they're going to use in that so far, but, we'll definitely find out when it comes to the player test server, if they're going to bring it to a player test server, because technically it's not a DLC. And it's been in the works for quite some time, so maybe they don't need to put it out to the player test server, but they should, and it would be really fun to play. And the second skill line is Ice. Yes, we have the Dragon Knights, which have the fire, and then we have the Sorcerers, which have the lightning. And yes, the ice was missing, which kind of made the ice stuff a little bit irrelevant because it wasn't really that great. So now they, like I said before, they've changed that to be more tanky. And in the trailer, you could see the ice skill line. So we know 2 of the skills already that they use for the Warden class. One of them is an ice wall, which is what they use to defend your allies. I don't know how it's going to work in the game. It'll probably be good for PvP one-on-one, but I don't see how it's going to work as a group unless it casts it for everyone. The second skill we saw is it was basically an ice blizzard explosion. It's not like the Destro Staff Ultimate, when you just get the blizzard. It's kind of like you saw him sucking all this icy wind and then he blows it out and knocks back everyone. But it's going to be overpowered if it's a normal skill, so I'm going to assume now that it's an ultimate. But I don't know if it's just because of the trailer where it showed him animate it quite slowly, so he had to summon it and then explode it, as opposed to it being an instant cast. So hopefully they won't have that, and it will just be instant straight away, otherwise it could be a little bit of a problem in PvP. But it looks very powerful, and I'm really excited to use it. And the final skill line is a pet skill line. So yeah, we can actually have decent pet builds. I mean, yeah, the Sorcerer did make some decent pet builds, but it was kind of lacking. And at least in this one, you can summon your pets, and you can have a bear as an ultimate. And they told us about the ultimate essentially, where once you've summoned the bear, there's no time limit. The only way for the bear to go is either you unsummon it manually or it gets killed. As for the abilities morphs, the first one is basically a resurrection ability. So when the bear dies, you use the attack again, and then the bear, he basically revives himself. And I'm assuming it doesn't cost any ultimate, as it's the bear's special move. And the second one, they haven't explained it very well, but they said the bear unleashes an attack which, well, a devastating attack which is going to raise its DPS significantly. So the real question is it going to be a buff for the bear itself, so you know its normal attacks are raised, or will it be just one big massive attack for the bear and then you have to recharge its ultimate separately? But that's the ultimate for that skill line. There are also other pets that you can summon. However, they only mentioned one of them, and they didn't say that it was specifically a pet, but they said it was an attack which summoned a pet to attack. So I don't know if the pet will like disappear after it's done its initial attack, or if it will stay around for a little bit. But anyway, if you've played Morrowind before, you would know what a cliff racer is, and that is the attack which I'm talking about, where basically a cliff racer would come down from the sky and attack the enemy. And yeah, basically they're kind of like pterodactyl-like things. And if you've ever played Morrowind, they are so annoying and they just swarm you. There's just so many of them, and yeah, they're kind of the bane of my existence when it comes to that game. But at least you get to control them and have them on your side, so that's always good. But they also said that they're going to have land versions of them, so yeah, the same ones just without wings, I guess. I don't know, I can't remember what they look like if they were in Morrowind, but yeah, I'm interested to see what they are. But that's all we know so far for the pets. They haven't really elaborated on any of the nature abilities. I mean, they said it's a healing class, but you know, it could be anything, I don't know. And will it be better than a Templar? I'm not sure. I mean, because obviously Templar have their own healing skill line, so now the Wardens have a healing skill line. So it's good to have a variety, because, yeah, let's face it, I mean, like, yeah, you can pull off a DK healer or a Sork healer, but I mean, you know, they're not going to be as good as a Templar healer, so at least they've got something which would be able to match it, supposedly. Just so you've got more choice, because, yeah, it's kind of a little bit on the way to the Templar, like when it comes to healers, you know. Everyone's always a Templar. If you're not a Templar, then you're not the best healer, and you know. But I mean, yeah, there are exceptions. Some people do make some really sweet builds which can outperform the Templar, but there's not many of them. But yeah, I'm very interested to see how the Warden's going to fit into all this, and if it's going to be overpowered or underpowered. But yeah, if it is overpowered, I'm going to be a little bit disappointed, because then they've kind of made it buy to win, which I highly disagree with. But there's only one way to find out, so I do hope that they bring it onto the PTS server, you know, because if they don't, they just release the game, it's, you know, you're kind of taking a leap of faith there. You're not quite sure what you're going to get. I mean, yeah, I'm probably going to buy it regardless, because, you know, I'm a big Morrowind fan, and I really want Battlegrounds, and I'm really interested in this new Warden build. I mean, I was working on an ice tank, but I think I'm going to wait now, because, you know, if I make an ice tank now, it's just going to be rendered useless on the 6th of June. But I mean, I suppose I could just use the same armor and switch it over. We'll see how it goes anyway. But anyway, that's all for now. Well, I hope you guys have all enjoyed this video and found it useful. And let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. If you'd like to see more videos like this in the future, please leave a like and subscribe. And as always, guys, have yourselves a great day. Peace!